Yik-eyuh satini, stakatiuhan, konalchish, hati ade. Good to see you all. Thank you for coming here. Today is Thursday, September 18th already. This is the Tlingit Language lunch session, um, sponsored by Tlingit and Haida. And Shirley and I are excited to share some language and content with you all today. I'm going to drop the link to our slides in the chat so folks have access to them. And we'll jump right in. So we have a pretty full menu for you today. We have some discussion topics. We would like to talk, I don't see him in class yet, but our new Haida student has a Haida name, and we'd like to use his name in class and just practice this way you would spell it in Tlingit and how we would pronounce it. So we made time for that. We had a good email with some questions about numbers and counting. And Shirley and I, because of that, decided we're going to spend some time next month teaching about counting and numbers, but we're also going to share resources. If you guys have curiosity about certain topics, we'll include them in the class. It takes some planning, but we're also going to share a resource that you can look into if you're interested in studying outside of class. So we'll do that. We're going to share the poster again. We're going to talk a little bit about bringing people gray currents. So on Tuesday, we added to our knock knock dialogue about bringing people berries. And Shirley has a nice note about bringing people gray currents and how you would modify language to bring people that type of berry specifically. And it's just so fun. So we're going to do that. And yeah, so we'll be practicing our knock knock dialogue. We got a little review planned. And I guess I'll open it up before we talk about the discussion topics I mentioned. Are there any questions or comments from the group in general about anything we've learned so far? Just anything on your minds? It's always fun for us to hear from you. So if you have questions, please keep emailing us at them. We always incorporate them into our classes. And even though he's not here right now, let's go ahead and practice his name. So we had a new student join us. He has a Haida name. Haida Chadkil or Haida is the language he primarily studies. So he has this awesome name, and it's pretty similar the way you would spell it and say it in Tlingit. But his name is Kiwashai. And in Chadkil, you write a Tlingit L with an H followed by an L. That's an unvoiced L. And in Shinget, the only spelling change I see is that you would just remove that H because the default L is that sound. And so let's practice his name. Go ahead and unmute your mics and repeat after me, starting with the last syllable, starting with the Shinget L. It's L double A Y. Repeat after me. Shy.
Fly. Fly.
Fly.
Hi.
Good. And then scooting up a little bit, halfway through his name, there's a W, high tone double A, and then that sound we just practiced, shy. So repeat after me, starting with the W. Wa shy.
Wash.
Washa.
Fly.
Good. And the first sound is a K pinch YU. Repeat after me. Q.
You.
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 Actually, yeah, it would be like yeah.
You need to make sure you click on that K, that first K.
Okay, buenas noches.
I didn't hear any clicks.
Thank you. So this pinch K, like Shirley said, needs to be like a click. We need to click on it, make it sound really sharp, and repeat after me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You.
You. Oh,
And let's try the whole word. Repeat after me. Kiwashai.
you
You.
wa you
Like.
washay.
Mm-hmm. Shirley, is that coming through when I say it? The pinch K?
Yeah. Uh, I think you need to go over it because I thought you were talking about a silent L.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the unvoiced or Lingit L. Let's practice that one. So to make this sound, you start out in the positioning of your tongue at the top of your, the back of your top teeth, just like you're making an English voiced L. So if you make that sound and pay attention to where your mouth is, L, you're gonna use that same position. And then instead of voicing it, you're just gonna breathe out the sound. And the last thing to remember is to just relax your cheeks a little bit right here. And so repeat after me. Go ahead and make that sound nice and long. Since we're on Zoom, you have to give it some time so it can come through the airwaves. Let's try again. And let's make the whole syllable. Repeat after me. Shy.
I
Like.
Uh-huh. And the whole name. Kiwa shy.
you are
You
like
are. Like.
Good. I know that in Shirley, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I was wondering, uh, you're saying that it's an L double A. I don't hear a double A. I hear a single A.
Gosh, geez. So let's make these double A's nice and long. And when it's a double A, it just needs to last longer. So you just prolong the amount of time that you're making that sound. So let's practice these nice and long. You can over enunciate since we're learning. Repeat after me. Kiwashai.
You are
You are.
like.
Like.
How was that?
Yeah,
A little better?
yeah.
Okay.
Um,
And
we usually
mhm.
allow people to keep their native names, and the only requirement we have is to uh, be able to spell it in the Lingit. So it doesn't change it. It's so that the Lingit reader can figure out how to say it in another language. Sounds good.
goodness, geez. And he's here. And Kiwashai, I made a mistake the first day when we talked about the Shinget spelling for your name. I accidentally typed a barred L, but actually in Shinget we don't type the bar because the default L sound is the barred L. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, there you
So
go.
yeah. And can we hear you say your name again, please?
Iwatsai.
Kiwashai. Kiwashai.
Iwatsai.
Kiwashai.
Yep. And it just means like path or nowadays road or sidewalk or ladder, but path, staircase, just trail through the woods.
Do I hear an underlined K in the middle?
No. The H and the L is just the Kiwatsai. But my full one is actually Kiwatkina, which means it can mean happy, warm, peaceful, content, stuff like that.
Ah,
Or
what,
hot.
what a wonderful name.
Jahawa,
Yeah.
Benautis.
Shirley, did you have any more comments about that?
Everybody make a note of that name so you can, because you're going to be required to say it.
Yeah, kwatiko naschish. Awesome name. Thank you guys for practicing.
Benautis.
Uh,
Uh,
we got an email with some awesome questions about counting and numbers, and like I mentioned, Shirley and I are gonna incorporate these into our lessons for next month. But we also want to, um, answer your questions and give you resources in the meantime. So one of the questions in the email we got was that one of you had read somewhere and wondered if it was true that the Lingit language doesn't have numbers beyond 200. And Shirley and I discussed it, and that's not true, but traditionally in Lingit, um, people didn't need to count really high. And so in the language, we adapted English words for counting high numbers. And this is for counting things. If you count people, the word changes. But one of them, a couple of them, for example, are hundred for 100. So let's practice that. Repeat after me, hundred.
100,
100,
And then thousand, thousand.
Tau,
1,000,
1,000.
1000,
Shirley, can we hear you say it again?
thousand, yeah,
Thousand.
yeah.
Nice long double A.
Yeah, we
Thousand.
don't have the D on the
1,000,
end. We don't have the D on the end.
Uh,
1,000,
Yeah.
Gunachish. So does it end in an N or a T? Thousand. Thousand. That seems right. If folks are curious about counting, you want to read up on it, I included a little screenshot of one of the pages, but in Rene's book, The Beginning Singit Workbook, you can start to read about counting and you can work on numbers 1 through 10. And again, these are for counting things. And I included a link on this slide, so you should be able
If
to.
you already know about counting, you might study how to count people.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Any more comments or questions about counting? So the next thing we wanted to talk about is this poster that we showed you. And we're going to learn some expressions for picking berries. We enjoyed hearing your experiences as a young person picking berries. That was fun for us to hear. And when we look at the poster, we're wanting to know if this elicits any memories of what your family did to teach you about filling your can instead of your stomach. So in our image, one of the students or one of the children is getting a nice handful of berries in his mouth before it goes into the bucket. Shirley remembers lessons about that. And so before we hop into this, does that bring up any questions for you guys. Or Shirley, did you have anything to add?
Yeah, if you have any memories about being taught to fill your can instead of your stomach. Uh, I think the poster shows the little boy, uh, I think eating berries. Maybe I haven't seen it because I'm blind. But if he's eating berries out of his can, that was common happening with kids.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. That's what my brothers and I did too when we were kids. How about you guys? What were you taught as kids about eating berries when you're picking and filling your buckets?
I remember being told that there were bugs on them, so I had to wait to get them home to clean them.
Nice.
I think that maybe that is how I was taught to not eat while I was picking also was just like a reminder of how many worms would come out when you're soaking them. And I think that just scared me enough to not munch on them while I was picking them.
That's a good tactic. Anybody else? I was telling Shirley that when we were kids, my dad was pretty stern about stuff like this, telling us don't eat all the berries. You need to fill up your buckets first. And we couldn't leave the hillside until we had full buckets, and so we were pretty motivated, but everybody still had blue lips. But I think as my dad became a grandfather, he might have softened up a little bit. And last time I was visiting him, he came in with a whole bunch of berries and took all the time to pick off the stems and the leaves and clean them, put them on a baking sheet so that he could put them in the freezer and freeze them good. And my nephews were there, his grandsons, they're toddlers. And when he was like halfway to the freezer, his nephews were climbing all over him trying to get big old handfuls. And he just stood there and stooped over and let them have their fill off the tray after all that hard work. It was kind of a fun moment in our family, but fun stuff. Okay, well, we're gonna practice these lines that we added to our knock knock dialogue. And if things come up for you guys, don't be shy. It's always good to share what comes to your mind about your memories from your family and your experiences. Um, the first three lines were just a knock knock, and then repeat after me. Adu soa.
Adu soa.
Adu soa.
Sawa.
Good. That means who is that? Again, adu soa.
Adu soa.
Abu sawa.
Good. And then person A answers with their name and then says Aya. So you can fill in the blank with your name and repeat after me. Nila Tora Aya.
Nila toa. Saya.
Aya.
Adusne aya.
Good. So the next line is the person at the door brought berries for the person they're visiting. And we ended our last class with these, so let's review them. One of them is I'm bringing blueberries for you to eat. And so the berry type goes at the beginning of the sentence. This one is blueberries. Repeat after me. Kanata.
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 Uh-uh.
Good. And that T needs to be nice and sharp. We really need to hear it because we have this mark after it. It's pinched. Repeat after me. Kanata.
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 Yeah, that's
Next.
better.
Okay. Good. Next two words are like for you to eat, for your mouth. Repeat after me. Ijes.
Ikes.
Eight.
Ikes.
Good. This underline X is pronounced in the back of your throat, so you're going to make a little friction with the back of your tongue. And since it's pinched, it's going to also be sharp. You're going to really blow the air out. And again, repeat after me. Ijes.
Case.
Eight.
Ikes.
Good. And then I'm bringing it here. Hot in.
Hot.
Hot.
And
Quasi. In.
We'll do the whole line by chunk. Repeat after me. Kanata.
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 Ijes.
Ikes.
Eight.
And then next line. Hot in.
Hot.
Hot. Quasi. In.
Good. If you're new or just as a reminder, there's a period here in the middle of in, and that just lets you know you need to stop the air, just like when you're saying uh-oh. And then you have a low tone I, and then a period, and then a high tone I, eh. So your tone will go up a little bit on the second in with this accent mark above it. Let's do these two words again. Hot in.
Hot.
Hot.
In.
Quasi.
in.
In.
Good. And the whole line. Repeat the whole line after me. Kanata iqes hat in.
Kanata. Okay.
Kanata. Eight. Hot. Quasi. In.
And
Good. Shirley, how do we sound so far?
Yeah, that sounds good. It, you're doing better about snapping on the T, so that's good. Kanata. So,
Uh,
it's interesting about carrying things. Hatoshi in. It's carrying something that has uh, water or juice or liquids. Hot hussy tea is something solid. I bring you deer meat. Hot hussy tea. So it's just keep in mind because you might get confused when we start talking about something else. But hot hussy in indicates that there's probably some liquid in there.
Gunalchish. Just to give people a visual of what Shirley's talking about, I put on the screen this whole list of, and we're not going to memorize all these right now. I don't want you to be overwhelmed, but the different ways you carry things based on their shape or how you carry it, whether or not it could spill, um, things like that. There, there are different words for each type. And so just to give you an introduction, like what Shirley's mentioning, when you're carrying things, there's a specific word for carry based on what you're bringing. So just keep that in mind.
So what kind of berries are we bringing?
Blueberries.
Blueberries.
My
Okay.
favorite.
Yeah.
Okay. If we're bringing wild strawberries, how do you say wild strawberry?
Shako.
Pretty good. Everyone repeat after me. Shaku.
Don't say
Shuck.
the U. Don't say the W.
Shock.
Shock.
Shako.
That's it. Yeah, so the W just lets you know round your lips as you breathe out the K, and it'll make a unique sound. So one more time, repeat after me. Shaku.
Shuck.
Shock.
Shock. Shock.
And let's practice this whole line. Repeat after me. Shaku I reis hat chwesi in.
Shock.
Shock.
Tap
E.
I Ace Hat Kwasi in.
Good. Again for repetition. Shaku I reis hat chwesi in.
Shock.
Tak
Face.
I Ace Hat Kwasi in.
In.
Good. And back to kanata. Repeat after me. Kanata I reis hat chwesi in.
Kanat.
Kanata I
Ace.
Ace Hat
What's
Kwasi
the
in.
in?
Next one. Shaku I reis hat chwesi in.
Chak I
Shock.
Ace
The
Hat
Ace. Hot.
Kwasi in.
In.
The in.
When you say Kanata is hot cuisine, uh, that sounds real good. But for some reason or other, when you do shuck, your voice goes up on your face, which doesn't appear in the real language. Your
Oh.
face. It's still low tone.
Oh.
Yeah. Shuck is
Goodness.
Chuck is hot hussy in, so the tone mark is on in.
Okay. Goodness. Geesh. I didn't know that,
It's
and I.
important. It's really important to pay attention to the tone marks in order to really sound clean. So that's why I want to stress it. Gonna teach.
Goodness. Geesh. So. Okay. So, I wrote these with a high tone, but I'm gonna change them to low tone because, like Shirley said, we'll save the high tone for chwesi in, and we'll modify our pronunciation to sound more natural. Goodness. Geesh. Okay. Next one is salmon berries, and we talked about this being the tip of the bush berry. Let's practice the name for salmon berries first. Repeat after me. Wasqanchequ.
Was
Was
on.
an Kegu.
You have a pinched S and then a pinched X, so both of those sounds will be sharp. And you have an underlined G, so it'll be back of your throat. And let's start with just the second word. Repeat after me. Tlequ.
Lego.
Kegu.
And the first word was gone.
Was.
Was
Um.
The whole berry name was gone.
Was. Shange.
was
Lego.
an Kegu.
And then the rest of the phrase. Ires hat chwasi in.
Iche. Pas.
Ace
Was.
Hat
In.
Kwasi in.
Good. Elaine, you have your hand up?
Oh, yes. Hi. I'm a first time learner here. I just have a quick question. How do you pronounce the TL in the second word?
You say both letters.
Okay.
Yeah, you say all the letters. When the L is combined with a T, uh, then it's not voiceless. You say the two letters. You just kind of uh, combine it.
Thank you.
And welcome to class.
Gonna sheesh. How do
Right.
you
Right. Yeah.
So let's do this berry name again. Repeat after me. Wascantlego.
Wasakan
Huecan
Lego.
Lego
Lego.
The rest of the phrase. Iqes hat huasi in.
Each is
y
hot.
es
In.
Huasi
Hot
in
horsey in.
Okay. And we're keeping it to just 4, so we get repetition, but not overwhelmingly like a lot of types of berries. The last one is gray currants, and we're going to add something to this. So first, just look at the word for gray currants and repeat after me. Shach.
Sha.
Shach
Good. And Shirley mentioned to me, Shirley, will you please share with them what you told me about bringing people gray currants?
Yeah, great currents. Those of you that had experience know this, that great currents does not have its own juice. So what we had to do when we got it was to mash it. You mash the berries and then add water to make the juice. So because we didn't have anything to mash with except our hands, so it's called kakotri. That means you used your hand on it to mash it. Kakotri. That means you mashed it and you added water. That's
Okay, gonachish. I put the word that she mentioned on the board, and let's practice this one. So if you mash berries with your hands, it's called kagochke. Let's practice starting with the N, just the underline XI. Repeat after me. Che.
Like
Hey.
T
Day.
This middle sound starts with an underline G and a TL. And so let's do gochke.
O O T
And practice the whole word. Kagochke.
Bagus.
O
Yay.
T
Good. Again for repetition. Kagochke.
O
Yay.
T
Might be noticing it takes some finesse going from k at the top of your mouth, to the back of your mouth, to the front of your mouth, and then again to the back. So just be patient with yourselves as you fine tune your instrument. Take a breath and relax and repeat after me. Say it nice and slow. Kagochki.
Bagus.
O
Yay.
T
Good.
sounds good. Like,
Okay. And so if we're making kagochki out of great currants, we add the word for great currants in front of it. So let's say this, repeat after me. Shach kagochki.
Ah.
A
Bagus.
O T
Good. Again. Shach kagochki.
Ah.
A
Bagus.
O
Yay.
T
Okay. So if we're bringing people gray currants, we've probably mashed it up. And we're going to say this, repeat after me, nice and slow, the whole line. Shach kagochki iqes hat in.
kagut si pat wasi in.
and
Good. Shirley, how did that sound?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Let's do it one more time. Shach kagut hat kwasi in.
Sa
kagut
kagut si
case
pat wasi in.
And I'm bringing mashed gray currants for you to eat. Nice. Such a good neighbor. And so here's our knock
We
knock dialogue. Uh-huh.
usually make sure the elders who can't go into the woods to pick berries anymore, you try to give them a treat. So that's who you're treating.
Gonalchish. Add a cultural note. Okay. So we have our knock knock dialogue. We added our last line about I'm bringing you berries. And person A says 2 lines in a row. So the whole thing goes knock knock. Adu sawa nila toga aya shach kagot khasi in. Shirley, should we demonstrate this for them?
Yeah.
Um,
So I'll start.
okay.
Knock knock.
Adu sawa.
Shaksani kik aya. Kanat ah. Ka. Fred Meyer's Shah. Teen hat hasi in.
Okay.
So kanat ah. Fred Meyer's Shah. Shak hat teen hat hasi in. So I'm saying I put Fred Meyer's strawberries in there because
Awesome.
it's really different than wild strawberries.
I'm gonna add a
I want you guys to try to be really creative as we do these as we do these lessons. We don't have native words for Fred Meyer's or Safeway or Costco, any of those places. So just go ahead and use them in the language, and um, it's perfectly all right because everybody knows in the city about these places.
yeah, gunastish. So that was fun. She said, I'm bringing you blueberries and Fred Meyer's strawberries. So kanat ka Fred Meyer's shak I hat kwasi in. Fun. So let's do a repeat after me. We'll start with kanat for this line for our last line. And let's do line by line. Everybody repeat after me. Knock, knock.
Knock, knock.
Knock knock.
Adu sawa.
Adu
Adu sawa.
I'm going to say Nila Toga, but fill in the blank with your name. Nila Toga Aya.
Nauni hande ijin aya.
Kanat I hat kwasi in.
Kanat
Kanat
ati
ati
ace hat
at
quasi in
quasi in.
Okay. Let's do this last line with some other berries. Wild strawberries. Repeat after me. Shak I hat chosi in.
Shak
dat
i
i ace hat quasi in
in.
Oh, you do it
Good.
better on the shuck.
Gonalchish. Let's do salmon berries. Repeat after me. Waskan cheko hat chosi in.
Wascon
On
Place
clip
E Case
clip
Hot Bossy N.
quasi in.
And the last one, great mashed gray currants. Repeat after me. Shach kagotli hat igres hat chosi in.
Shak good thing it quasi in.
Okay, very brave. I didn't put it on the board, and that's a hard one to say. I'm gonna be nice to you now and put it on the board so you can repeat after me. Everybody, one more time. Shach kagotli igres hat chosi in.
Shot Kakut E Case
Quasi
Hot
ace hat
N.
quasi in
Okay. Any questions so far? Shirley, do you have any comments? We have 15 minutes left. We've been pushing them pretty hard. Did you have any thoughts you wanted to share?
Uh, are we going to go ahead with the words from Dr. Lear?
Ah, okay. That will be a nice transition. So, Shirley and I want to introduce a resource to you that I've included in our shared resources folder. And they're these really beautiful handwritten notes that Dr. Jeff Lear made when he was documenting Tlingit. And there's just pages and pages of them, but he has really great words in here. I included a link. I included a screenshot. This is what they look like. They're all on these yellow legal pads. And we're going to work on a specific word. But before we jump into that, we wanted to share a little bit with you about Dr. Lear. And so his Tlingit name is Weha. So Tlingit Reinach Weha Yuduasak Tlekachinach Dr. Jeff Lear. He is non-native and also a dedicated learner of the Tlingit language. When I was his apprentice a few summers ago for Alaska Heritage Institute, he taught me a lot about transcription and translation. I would say he's a bit of an artist at it. He's very, very skilled and knowledgeable. And during that time, he told me that he started learning Tlingit around, or he was inspired to learn around the age of 8 when he heard the language over the radio. And he has pretty much dedicated himself to um, learning and making resources for Alaska Native and Native American languages.
Yeah,
Um,
I assisted him. I've been assisting him with phrases. We talk on the phone and he gives me a phrase and I translate it to Tlingit. We talk about it to how to use it, how and what phrase we want to put down. So he has other people besides me that do the same. He calls them. Uh, so it just uh, put together by a lot of people helping out.
yeah, okay. He let Shirley know that this semester he's teaching, or this semester, or this year, he's teaching a class on hand motions in Tlingit culture. He's done a lot of work on tones and pronunciation in the Southern dialects, which have a really melodic, beautiful sound to them and some unique characteristics. Yeah, so this is the notes. I put a link in our slides here if you want to access them. If you open up the link, it'll take you to our class folder that we made. And let's see, looks like this. And it's this one where it says Lear Tlingit Notes. And you can download all of these to study outside of class. But yeah, the word that we want to work on is this one. It's an underline K, U, and then a K pinched, high tone double E, and a T pinched. And it's for picking berries. And so let's practice this sound. You go from a underline KU, so back of the throat, KU, and then a pinched K, top of the mouth, high tone double E, and then a sharp T, a pinched T. Repeat after me. Kokit.
Cook, eat,
Well, eat.
And I know that Zoom will kind of clip your sounds. Let's do it again. Repeat after me. Kokit.
cook,
Well,
eat,
eat.
Eat. If you're on computer, there's a setting, uh, microphone or audio for musicians that might help with the cutting out of Lingit sounds. You might be able to do it on your phone, but I know you can do it on your computer.
Konaschish. Good to hear your voice, Casey. I keep saying I'm going to do a demo on how to do that audio. I'll do it maybe at the end of class today. But I think you guys sound pretty good. Let's do it one more time. Cook, eat.
cook, eat.
Eat.
Well, eat.
Shirley, how do we sound on that one?
Yeah, sounds good. There's a lot of sharp letters in that one.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when we were planning this lesson. Shirley brought up this underlined KU sound that appears in words like cook, eat, and koik. So um, we looked at Renee's grammar book and read about it and thought about it, and we thought a simplified way to explain it in Shirley's words are that it's inclusive. So this k sound has a meaning at the beginning of words, and it generally relates to people. And so not one person is identified as in I went berry picking or you went berry picking, but people in general. And so a couple examples, the word kokit, people are berry picking, or koik, people are invited. And we just kind of wanted to share that with you as you start to learn more words and make patterns between them.
Yeah,
Um,
we're learning. We're learning too. We start looking at these and wake up like that, and so uh, I got curious about that. Is it's an interesting way to use it so that it includes more than one person. It's a group of people.
Kunash Chish. Any questions or comments about that?
Yeah, I'm so used to hearing eating. Um, does this one just mean people in general are picking berries?
Yeah, that
Ain.
uh
Did you say Ain?
uh
Yeah, that's only one person.
Goodness, cheese.
put it on the board so that people who are not familiar with it. One person is picking berries in
Yeah, when you're
this is
talking about somebody specific, my granddaughter or my child or something, or it's something that's they're doing right now. They're picking it. He's picking it. She's picking it.
cheese. So the phrase and Dash Atja and I are old classmates. We're in a cohort together. And he brought up this word in, which is another word for picking berries, but it's a specific person is picking berries.
And they're doing it right this minute.
Cheese.
Yeah. Awa in is past tense. He or she picked it.
Cheese. Awa in. Okay. So yeah, totally different words. Cookit versus in. And then the past tense awa in. And we're pretty close to time, but we wanted to let you know that for next class, Shirley's mom used to say these phrases before they went out into the berry picking grounds, and she's going to teach them to us. So this is something culturally appropriate that you can say in the language. Really, really good stuff. Um, we're gonna we're gonna include that in our next class. Uh, Shirley, did you want to add anything?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody does it now, but the only person I used to hear do it is my mom. I haven't heard anybody else do that.
Okay.
But I really believed in it. I really thought that it worked. Her announcement.
Okay. Really awesome. Beautiful. Goodness, cheese. So, right before we go, we taught you guys this phrase for I'll see you again. Let's practice it and then we'll say it to each other. For I'll see you again, traditionally there wouldn't be like a hello or goodbye, but I'll see you again is something we can say when we end class. And repeat after me. Tsuye ikwasatin.
Tu ek
Uye
ikwasatin.
ikwasatin.
Again, nice and slow. Tsuye ikwasatin.
Tu
Suye
Uye ikwasatin.
ikwasatin.
And one more time. Tsuye ikwasatin.
Tu
Suye
Uye
ikwasatin.
ikwasatin.
Okay.
When you see the word written, it's pretty discouraging because it really has a lot of letters in this one word. But the way you're sounding, it sounds real good. Okay.
cheese.
Cheese.
Ish. Narchish suye ikwasatin.
Have an awesome rest of your day. We'll see you guys next week on Tuesday. Ye Kwasatin.
Yeah.
Yequati,
Ye
Ganachish,
Ikwasatin Bunaschish
Svie Quasatin.
Uche Gachtistin,
Ye Kwati.
Upe Quasatin.
Okay.